So, we move on to round number 3. We, once again, will be starting on pole position. We know what we have to do. We have to beat Stinty. Stinty has got a very nice lead at the top of the table after the first 2 rounds, so we've got to find a way to beat that vehicle and hope that we can score considerably more points. If we're going to win overall, we're going to need to score considerably more points over these next few races. Now, there is a chance, there's probably quite a good chance, that, let's face it, mistakes are going to be made at some point. I tried to correct the Cadillac after we gave it a little bit of a nudge around. Yeah, chances are you're going to have a bad race. That is quite likely in this sort of thing. Oh, it's got stuck on the wall. I was trying not to just plough into that car because there is nothing you can do against that building. Sadly, you can't remove the ladders and bits that stick out on those buildings. So, yeah, we had to lift. We had to back out of that one. We're going to be going the long way around here, I think. We might be able to sneak a pass on Scotty. We would have been able to sneak a pass on Scotty. Unfortunately, Cadillac got a little bit out of control through all of that. And Ewan's having a big spin up the hill. I think the car just about saved the car. However, that was a bit scary, if I'm honest. I'd rather not have that to deal with. Here around this big sort of sweeping banking corner. You don't want to run too far up there. It would be, I think it would be possible to overshoot it with the banking there. You should be able to carry a lot of speed, get the car turned, but yeah, you don't necessarily want to chuck too much speed at that corner. Onto the start-finish straight we go. It's a big slipstream train of cars. Oh, I thought about having to go out the inside. I thought about it, but we didn't quite have as much overspeed almost against Scotty's car. Oh, I should have given a little bit more space. I thought we were far enough ahead, and it was still, the Cadillac was still twitching. Now, as I said before, this is still early times in this race. There's still time to recover. There's still time for other events to transpire, shall we say. And leaderboard-wise, well, I can see... Oh, and Impega's got the lead. That's not great for us if we want to get anywhere in the championship. Yeah, Impega has the lead. Stinty has fallen back. I wonder whether Stinty might have tangled with Liam and was waiting for the collision. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, this race isn't quite going as well for Stinty, but it's still plenty of time. We'll see what it's like on the final lap out here. Just going to kind of, again, bide our time, be a little bit patient. You don't see that normally in touring cars. There was a small bit of car hatting occurred in all of that. Liam got just a really, really good run, while I think it was Brazen got the car all twitchy. Liam and Stinty have got together coming off there. Now, this is not what the blue machine needed. It's absolutely not what Stinty was needing in terms of the championship, and this is what I mean by sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes things go wrong for me on the outside there. We're going to get away with it, but that was a dumb thing to do. I was just a little too far wide. I don't even know how I managed to mess that one up so well. It's exemplary work from me in managing to beans that one away. Well, okay, we're in 8th place. It's quite a big gap. The problem is we're in 8th and we're not even close to getting the slipstream train of the cars ahead unless they really start fighting each other and doing something stupid. We'd have to have a little bit of a miracle, or we'd have to start bringing cars with us. The thing is, I always don't want to bring the cars with us that are behind us because they're quick and they're going to, well, be scoring points that I could potentially be needing. We will have to wait and see. I mean, Liam is here, and nothing I can do about it once they are in the draft like that. We're just going to try and carry all the speed that I can through there. Liam was actually a little bit wide. So yeah, I think the Jugular is a little more composed, a little easy to kind of be super aggressive with the car. In fact, the Alfa Romeo is a little bit, by the looks of it, a little bit more of a handful through some of these corners. I don't know why mine slid. I guess I had the wheel on the curb on the outside. Something going on ahead to Little AK with that Cadillac. I don't quite know how they ended up tangling in that manner, but never mind. Oh, God. I'm going for it now, and that is asking for trouble in some of these corners. There's no holding back. We are going to be up with the lead group, and of course they're now really starting to fight. When you're 3-4 wide through corners, regardless of catch-up. Oh, Stinty's run very wide out of turn 1. Stinty's hit the tyres on the exit of turn 1, so that's, I mean, might just get into this fight on the final lap. We'll have to wait and see, but I mean, we are here now. It's the traffic jam. It's like bloody Macau around here almost at that hairpin. Liam is to the outside. Unfortunately for me, well, I got a better line. Oh no, we get some slipstream. We're still going to be stuck on the outside though. Through this next corner, Liam is going to get that pass done. We haven't got there's not much you can do in this moment in time. That was not what I wanted to do. There was not much that you could do, and crashing into the tyre bundle on the inside of the corner was not the thing that I wanted to be doing, if I'm honest. Yeah. Oh no, we're going to have a big oversteer moment. Brazen's fallen off. This has just been it's been a scruffy and scrappy race from me, unfortunately. Here, there's a couple of too many mistakes. I don't know why. We should be better than this. We need to be better than this if we want to do well overall. Definitely better than 10th place if we're going to score some decent enough points here to stand a chance. There's a drafter up on 2 wheels. We have to get into the back of the Cadillac a little bit. We get a good slingshot on the exit though. That's what matters here. I mean, thankfully they're fighting 4 wide out of turn 1. You know, if they weren't fighting like this, it would be a lot more difficult for me. But because everyone is fighting this much and this slow, then we are, yeah, a little bit more in the fray. It's 3 wide on one of the narrowest hairpins on this, well, the narrowest hairpin on the circuit. Might even be the narrowest hairpin that we visit in this championship. As Scotty goes over, we will sneak our way past up into 4th place. That caused some chaos amongst the vehicles. I mean, it's a proper FailRace touring car event now. Somebody's fallen onto their roof in quite spectacular fashion directly in front of camera. So, we are up into 4th. Impega leads. Liam is 2nd. Hyper is in 3rd with the VTS-R? I think that's the way round it is. I can't remember. Liam is going to take that lead away up towards the hairpin if they can hold on, if they don't overdrive it. It is weird. Like, as fast as that corner is, and as much space as there is, it is oddly easy to get yourself in trouble. Liam with a huge 2-wheel moment through all of there will fall back, but did at least save the car from rolling. We are up into a 2nd position here with a couple of laps to go. We go to the outside. Liam is there at the inside as we make it 3 wide through the first corner. There's a car. Cadillac is going to try and get to the inside of the hairpin. I'm just going to run it in quite deep through here. This is just trying to avoid any contact. Might not quite be the quickest line off of the corner, but we do avoid any contact. We don't want to get spun now. We've used up all of our, I say, free passes. We've used up a lot of our chances here. A couple of silly mistakes by me. Could have been a lot more costly than they have been. Thankfully we found sort of slipstream partners at the right time. Can we have a big dive up the inside here? We can. Maybe I shouldn't have done that though, because we're both going to be slow. Off of these next couple of corners, it brings Liam, it brings Gliska, all of those cars back into this one. Oh, Impega was in 2 minds into whether he could move across or not, and we were kind of there, kind of not. Alpha has certainly got some straight line speed about it, there is no doubt. We're going to try look a long way round possibly. It hasn't really worked so far for anybody, and it hasn't worked for me at the end of that. Well, there's going to be one more lap after this one. What do we do? Where do we go? Around the outside perhaps? No, not quite. Do we just sit in the draft and try and outrun? It's really difficult when that car can just go, and we've been punted around, and there goes our race. I don't know whether we can recover now. I don't know whether there is enough time. I don't think there is, annoyingly, in that one. There just wasn't the space for the cars to go there, and I didn't have time to move to make any sort of space. We just got nudged, and yeah, there's nothing. And the problem is, if we now start fighting viciously over 8th, we really can't move forward. But I just don't think we're going to have the lap time to do this without a lot of luck. Now, there is a chance there might be some crashes up ahead. However, I think this may have just given the race to Impega, probably, yeah, up at the front of this one. We will carry all of the speed that I can through these chicanes. If we can get the next corner right, and if we can be in the slipstream, there's a chance for us. If we can be in the slipstream, there's a chance for a better finish than where we are currently. But we need a big amount of luck in all of this. Brazen thought about going to the inside, doesn't. Oh, we get a big toe. That's a really horrible place to get the slipstream pull. It just pulled me wide with some understeer followed by some oversteer. Yeah, this race has gone awfully wrong at the end. Not going to be able to do that. No, it's all gone. It's all gone horrifically for us at the death. We may well get Brazen, but it's not good enough. No, that's terrible. what a shockingly bad lap that one was. And again, nothing I could have really done about it. The earlier mistakes, sure, but it just wasn't the time to react. Bugger. Bugger indeed. Well, my championship hopes are pretty much dwindling now without an awful lot of massive comeback somewhere. I'm not sure there's going to be much that we can do here. We'll have a look at the table. I think we're going to be mid-pack somewhere. That was, yeah, completely shocking. Unfortunately, for me, it was a good race. It was a very good race up until there, as Impega takes victory with the Commode. You know what? I'm just going to call it the Alfa Romeo. Screw it. Commode, that's the one. Gliska gets second ahead of the Cadillac. This is the first podium for the Cadillac, which is something, at least, I guess. In all of that, come on, let's have a look at the bad news of the championship table. Okay, we're 6th. Not as far down as I thought we might possibly have been. Still not great. Impega does take the lead, actually a quite commanding lead, up at the top. Dangerman is 3rd, only a point behind Gliska. Yeah, the problem is we need a good result now. If we're going to stand any hope of getting even a top 3, we need a good result. Stinty lost a lot of ground in that, but we do need a very good result now. Well, we are back to another street circuit, another more technical street circuit. This one, it might be one of the, I say one of the more technical circuits that we visit here. It's not quite as narrow as that tunnel from the second race, but it is quite narrow in general. So we will see how this goes. There are some bits like here, for example, where you really don't want to be on the receiving end of a nudge towards the wall. It's not been a great start for me in this one. It could have been worse though, so yes, I should be glad for that. As we're all now kind of checking up, it's 3 wide through this next section. We're going to get a good run here. Well, we are going to get a good run. Hopefully, Dangerman is not going to want to make that one too difficult, for God's sake. I mean, we had a good run, and, you know, when you're on the outside of that, you've got a lift at the end of the day. Or at least you should lift at the end of the day. Oh, for Pete's sake. Come on. Come on, car. Fall off of there. This is going to have to be one hell of a comeback drive. I mean, that one there was my bad. I mean, Impega's 13. Impega's had a bad start to this race. The thing is, like, Studio and Impega have had, well, I didn't say bad race, but I don't know what's going to happen in this one. I've just not been allowed to have a good race in this. We have got clean air, but clean air is only worth so much. It's not worth the huge amount of time that we have lost, sadly. Well, I say that. If we can find a car that's willing to work together, say willing to work together, we can find a car that we can do some slipstream with, that can run cleanly, we might be able to make something happen here. Only because that's the first lap. You know, when it's the first lap, there might be a chance that we can do something. But, yeah. We will have to wait and see. I mean, what could save us in this? If the leaders are very close together, that would save us a little bit here. We've got a really, really big run. Oh, I mean, in fact, there has been, by the looks of it, there's been enough chaos that at least the field is kind of spread out, so slipstreaming and working our way up through the order may be doable, basically. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, they're not as far away. Okay, they're not quite as far away as I feared after that abysmal start. So maybe we can do something again, but we can't make any more mistakes. That's a huge crash for one of the Cadillacs, and Dangerman is the wrong side of the fence. And that will get going again, but it's been more chaos around here than some of the other circuits that we went to, which is odd. I guess it is a little bit more narrow. I guess this is kind of part street circuit, I guess part permanent circuit with this bit. We're going to be on the outside, which I don't really want to be on, but we have got a good run nevertheless. Okay, I mean, they've been fighting each other so much up here that they've really lost a whole heap of time. The slipstream just gave up on me halfway down that straight. Now it's decided to go, you know, heading towards the braking zone. Scotty was never stopping there. Is Scotty had a controller turned off, or was that just insane amounts of slipstream? That was never making the corner. I mean, it did well not to take out, in some ways, it did well not to take out more cars from that. Sadly, it did get Ewan. He tried to turn away from it when he realised the speed that was going, but couldn't get away in time. I mean, championship-wise, Impega and Stinty are both up at the front here. Impega has recovered from an equally pretty awful start to the race to be in the fight. We're still stuck squabbling with everything at the moment. Hopefully we can get a little bit of cleaner. That was a terrible line through there. We were carried away too much speed on the way in. It was more pulled in by the slipstream, but had a lot of speed on the way in. I didn't want to take that line. There's just a car to the inside, and I had to kind of go a little bit wider. Why has there got no slipstream? Come on, GTA! You just decided to not bother giving me anything. No, give it to the cars behind me, but let me just do nothing in the middle of that one. That's helpful. I mean, that would screw over the race if it was the final lap. Thankfully, we've still got a few laps to go, and it is very, very busy now as we head on to lap number 5. We're going to look around for any which way we might be able to go. Nothing going to give here. Impega up in trouble. I'm just trying to avoid that. Blakey does well to recover that from all of that. There's just too many cars in one place. Way too many cars in one place for that to be working. I was doing everything I could to stay out of trouble in all of that. I mean, we made it through without being the worst affected of the vehicles, which I guess is something. We are lovely. It's like when you've not got the massive slipstream tow, that is like I say an easy flat-out corner, but it's a lovely flat-out corner. You carry mega speed through all of that, but when you do have the slipstream tow, you've got to be a lot more careful because you are suddenly going very fast. Now, are we going to get any slipstream when these cars go past us? By the looks of it, nope. No, we might have actually done that time. Yeah, we did actually get that time. It didn't. It does take a little while, of course, for it to kick in, but yeah, that time around it works. We head to the inside of Blakey, although because we can't really make the most of the corner, we end up losing on the exit in all of that. There's a squabble going on at the front still between everybody. We're still stuck side by side with Blakey through all of these corners. We're going to lift and fall back into line. I don't want to be side by side through there. However, I do want to get up the inside. I do want to try and make the pass stick. Ewan's had a huge roll. Ewan has gone over. Ewan has gone over and, well, not out of the race as such, but that was a very FailRace approved roll right there. We carried loads of speed on the way into that section that I kind of didn't want to. We are to the outside in all of this. I mean, Gliska actually does stand a chance of maybe not taking the lead of the championship away from Impega here. It depends on where Impega is, I don't know. Can we give Stinty a push? We can give the drafter a push. We know the drafter's fairly good at being bump drafted, as is the jugular. So Liam was happy to try and push Gliska. I was just pushing Stinty down that one. There's Blakey now once again to the outside. Oh, Stinty's up the wall! Stinty brushed the wall and the contact caused them grief in that one. I think Gliska might have waited for maybe assistance in putting Stinty in the wall. We are through there. The Alfa Romeo looks so twitchy through these corners. The Alfa Romeo looks like a car you drive on edge the entire time, and that would not be for me. Come on, go, 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 go. A lot of the main championship contenders are currently not in the top. Unfortunately for me, I slightly touched the back of the car ahead, and that apparently made my car very unhappy, and we lost 4 positions from all of that. But there is still a chance. So main championship contenders are a little further back. However, that little further back is 8th with Stinty back there. I didn't actually pay any attention to where Stinty fell after that bad last round. We've had a little bit of bumping on Hyper's car. Got no draft again, which is too far back. And off goes the Cadillac to the inside. Can I make something happen around the outside? We can take a much better, much more normal line around the outside of all of that. We are going to be stuck to the outside of Blakey possibly here. How many more laps we got to go with this mayhem? Can we survive another 2 laps of this mayhem in this in this lead group? Stinty is going to join in the fun here as we all get stacked up through there. Oh, there's just trying to find space to put the car. Blakey's got overhead in all of that. I think it was Blakey anyway, I don't actually know. Stinty got up onto 2 wheels. Stinty's worked his way up into 3rd now. We've got to try and find a way to catch up. It's got to try and find a way to do something here for us. Impega is back with us as well in this. Carried all the speed into that one. The Cadillacs made a mess of it, and we had nowhere else to go for that. I mean, we didn't come out of it too terribly in the end. The Cadillacs got the worst of it. Right, come on, game. Do not screw me out the slipstream this time. We don't actually need it. We really need it because we're quite slow down the straights. Brazen is in the middle of all of this. We're going to get a huge run to the outside. I imagine Pega may have got assistance from somebody through all of that. This is a lot of cars now. It's not the final lap of the race. We've still got one more to go. We get a good run on the exit there. I mean, if that was the final lap, really small chance, small opportunity for a slipstream to the finish line in this at this circuit. Oh no, Liam, I think pinged off the inside wall, and I was on the full throttle. I might have brushed the bumper. I don't actually know if I made contact with the bumper on that car heading towards there. It may have been enough to unsettle it. We are about to get slipstream passed by everything. Heading up towards the chicane now. Although, do you really want to try and make it work through here? Probably not, to be honest. It's a dangerous place to go for that overtake. In fact, they may have even got into trouble themselves because there's only Gliska behind me at the moment. We actually ran a little bit wide out of all of that. Not where I wanted to put the car. There goes Gliska to the inside. Where is Impega going to go? I didn't know what side, so I had to give it a little bit of space. Scotty's got a huge run in all of this. We get a huge secondary run in all of this as well. Hyper's up to a second position here. Now Impega's going to want to try and set this up for a run to the finish line. I'm trying to get out of the slipstream. It's not going to be anything better than a third for me. Scotty with that mega run, he just got far enough away. We were a little bit stacked up, fighting one another. I couldn't really get a run on Hyper, sadly. After a shocking start, we got something out of it in the end. It will be the best result of the tournament so far. We take a third place, and we get fastest lap, only car lap under the 1 minute mark. In this. Impega is fourth ahead of Brazen. Gliska ended up down in 10th. Something bad must have happened on that final lap. Unfortunately, Stinty was down in 13th position as well. The championship table is going to be shook around a bit here. Scotty getting a victory and Hyper getting second is going to give them a good chunk of points. Yeah, I guess we're going to go find out what on earth this has done to it. I mean, Pega will still lead, I would imagine, fairly convincingly. Yeah, I guess me, Hyper, and Scotty, I think we're all around a similar sort of point, so we might have made some gains. It's not going to be enough. We're not going to really probably leapfrog anybody, but we're going to maybe get a little bit closer. I guess that's what we can ask for at the moment. Right, here we go. I end up in 6th position. Yeah, we have got closer. That's what matters. In fact, actually, from Danger Man back to me isn't a massive gap anymore. We're only just ahead of Chris, and Hyper's not too bad in 8th position. I say that, actually. It is generally pretty damn close all overall there.